I'm a music producer, I'm a church musician, I'm a content creator. So when I'm doing content, it is important that what I'm hearing in my ears as I'm editing, as I'm recording, is what other people will hear on their own playback systems. I do a lot of this work in a shared space. So I have a baby, I have my wife who also does content. I've had a few people ask like, hey, what monitors do you use? And I'm like, actually, I don't really use traditional monitors. So there are a handful of things I want to talk about really quickly just to dive into why I chose this monitoring setup. So before I get started, I want to go ahead and thank our sponsor for today's video, Alclair Audio. And last year in 2024, my wife and I had our first baby, and that means I can't be loud. And one of the things that I have been using for so long is custom in-ears. So it was a natural fit. I use these in all my videos, and the team over at Alclair sent over a brand new pair of Electro 6 drivers. They're actually designed for studio use, which makes it a perfect fit for all the videos and content that I do. Absolutely gorgeous. So I'm listening to my favorite reference tracks and realizing that I missed a lot of the things that I did not know were actually in the mix. So you're hearing the tracks as they were recorded and as they were intended to be listened to. One of the benefits no one else will ever talk about is the fact that you don't have to have as much room treatment whenever you use in-ear monitors because you're not actually hearing the room. You're just hearing straight into your ear canal, which creates a whole lot of flexibility in regard to room treatment and room quality. Moving between studios, moving between working at a coffee shop, working on an airplane, wherever you are, you have the very same consistent mix in your ears. You don't have to worry about room noise, room treatment. Doing work in the studio is great. Doing work on stage is also great because if I'm dialing in my guitar tone, I want to make sure that front of house is getting exactly what I'm hearing in my ears, and I'm not having to make them do a whole lot of extra work EQ-wise, compression-wise, and making sure that what I'm sending to my engineers is actually accurate is important to me. In different life stages, you might have different restrictions with your content or your music production situation. For instance, a few years back, I had 2 roommates. We lived in a 3-bedroom apartment. I wanted to make sure my roommates, my neighbors, I wasn't bothering anybody. I didn't have the luxury of having near-field monitors in my home studio. That's actually the first time I kind of started using in-ear monitors. It's been a huge blessing because I don't have to wake my baby up to mix something. I don't have to wake my wife up if she's trying to sleep and I'm in here editing a video. This is one of those things you can't really experience until you actually try a pair of customs for yourself because it is literally a perfect replica of your ear canal. So whenever I pop these in my ears, I could have these in my head hours on end and not even think about it. I used to do live streaming of this kind of content where I just sit down and make music for 4 or 5 hours. Technology has made some huge strides providing digital solutions. I'm thinking specifically in the world of guitars, we have guitar amp sims. I'll drop a picture of my pedal board right here. I have the ACS1 by Walrus Audio. This has a headphone out jack. I know the same thing for like the Tonex, the Helix, HX Stomp, any of those pedals, they have headphone jacks. And this works beautifully for any other kind of digital setup. So like electronic drums, digital pianos, anything like that is perfect to utilize in your monitors. This is kind of one of those overrated, underrated kind of things, is the fact that they're just customizable. So that's kind of neat. You can go ahead and customize these however you want if you wanted to upload custom artwork. So I've seen people put a picture of their dog or their cat on their in-ear monitors, which is hilarious and I love it. Now I will speak specifically to Alclair in-ear monitors for a moment. These are my RSMs. I've used these for, I don't know, since 2017, so almost 8 years. I will say that I've changed the cables a few times just because they will naturally wear out. But that alone has been a worthwhile investment. If you're not ready for customs, that's totally fine. I still recommend getting a pair of universal fit in-ear monitors with the little silicone earpieces. They're a good piece of equipment to have in your tool bag or in your backpack whenever you're traveling. I just think they're a nice step up from AirPods. I'm sure I'll dive into more home studio topics in the future, but this is one of those first things I wanted to touch on just because I've been using in-ear monitors exclusively for the past 4 or 5 years. When bouncing between studios and stages, it made the most sense for me just to have a good, consistent pair of in-ear monitors. So thank you again for stopping by. My name's Greg, and thanks again to Alclair for sending over a pair of custom in-ear monitors to use on our videos.